Yeah, and speaking of politics and politicians.
Polly.
It's Latin for many.
Tick.
Now suck your blood. Now suck
Politics.
your blood.
Can you believe it, Gons? Newsmax articles 2 episodes in a row. What are we, carrying water for Putin?
Yeah.
This is a headline from Newsmax.
Okay.
Fox News banning Trump from network.
I'm going to step up aside for a moment. Daughter emergency. I'll be right back.
Okay, that's right, folks. Newsmax is striking at the heart of Fox News. Fox News banning Trump from network. The New York, we are truly in an upside down, topsy-turvy world. You got CNN defending Trump. You got Fox News banning him. The New York Times is reporting that Fox News has not had Donald Trump on its network in over 100 days, which the paper said was part of a larger strategy to eliminate the former president as a major GOP player. Trump's last appearance on Fox News came April 13th on Hannity. The Times noted in its report Friday that even Trump has complained his longtime friend, quote, doesn't seem to be paying him much attention anymore. The paper said Trump believes Fox's strategy of shunning him is an effort in, quote, effectively displacing him from the news cycle as the de facto leader of the Republican Party. The decision to shun Trump has been made at, quote, the highest levels. Talking about Murdoch there, I think, of Fox's parent company, and is backed by its billionaire chairman, Rupert Murdoch, and his son, company CEO Lachlan Murdoch. Both are Republicans, but are said to have developed a strong distaste for Trump. Earlier this month, the Murdoch-owned newspapers, the New York Post and the Wall Street Journal, published harsh rebukes of Trump's actions regarding January 6th, while strongly opposing a Trump bid for president in 2024. The Times said Trump's failure to accept the 2020 election result was at the root of the Murdoch's criticism of the former president, a view shared by Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican from Kentucky. Trump has not hidden his new distaste for Fox News. Shortly after his loss to Joe Biden, Trump blamed the network's negative coverage of his presidency for his 2020 election loss. And this week, Trump blasted Fox and Friends on his Truth Social account for being, quote, terrible and having, quote, gone to the dark side.
Oh.
Yes. Trump suggested former yeah, it's funny with Trump sort of saying Fox went to the dark side, sort of placing himself as an Obi-Wan Kenobi or a Luke Skywalker figure.
Right.
Which is just funny to think about. Sometimes it's just funny to think about funny things sometimes. Trump suggested former House Speaker Paul Ryan, sitting on Fox Corp's board of directors, is behind the shadow banning of Trump. Meanwhile, the Times said Fox has sought to displace Trump with other GOP 2024 contenders, notably Florida GOP Governor Ron DeSantis. A recent FoxNews.com report featured man-on-the-street interviews with Trump supporters who did not want him to run again and unanimously, in quotes, backed DeSantis for 2024. And then it kind of goes on here, kind of saying the same thing. We've got a quote, I spent 11 years at Fox and I know nothing pre-taped hits a Fox screen that hasn't been signed off on and sanctioned at the very top levels of management, especially when it has to do with a presidential election. Newsmax host Eric Bowling said in a monologue this week. You think Newsmax is kind of trying to hasn't Newsmax run some anti-Trump stuff recently as well?
I think so.
I feel like they kind of had a few moments where they were testing the waters, at least to see if it was a thing. Lachlan Murdoch and the network's leadership wants Fox to be more like CNN, Morris said. This is hilarious. You've had CNN, the new owners of CNN, literally said the words, "We want CNN to be more like Fox," and now we have Fox trying to be more like CNN.
It's flipped, man. The pendulum. This is like the obvious, in-your-face pendulum.
And this is kind of where the analysis comes in, because we've known for a long time, and it's kind of part of the plan, with the double speak, the Orwellian sort of finagling with the social hive mind, definitions of words, and the flipping of positions to destabilize a previous sort of set in stone framework of reality for people. We're talking deep sort of existential psychology here. Mm-hmm. When you start changing definitions of words out from under people, when you start redefining what it is to be a man or a woman or a Republican or a Democrat, both of which we've seen flip-flop in the past, and now having Fox and CNN try to either they're going to meet somewhere in the middle or start moving past one another and actually flip-flop. It's a highly destabilizing action for sort of the media as a whole. Not even the media, just sort of the elite construction of reality as a whole. Yeah, it's that destabilization that makes the masses easier to control.
Right, because if you really became to your political coming of age in the Trump era, and it was, Fox is the only people telling the truth, and CNN is lies, it's fake news, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. You go into this flippening, and all of a sudden, the exact same words of supporting a Fox and going against CNN becomes the 180 opposite, and then you got to, it's definitely sort of a mind control type of situation. There's a quote at the bottom here where it says, quote, "There's a reason millions of former Fox News viewers are watching Newsmax now," Morris said. Mm-hmm. "They cover real news, including the former and future president."
Okay. So they are sort of establishing themselves as the pro-Trump news outlet, which they've always sort of been. Mm-hmm. But it presents an interesting opportunity for them to Fox making this move. I think we could see Newsmax becoming they're already technically mainstream, but they're certainly their ratings are they're just smaller. They're a small network still, but I could see 5-10 years Newsmax being up there with the big guys, specifically because of their sort of opportunism in this shift that we see going on.
Yeah. And real briefly here, independent.co.uk published this article, which I thought was interesting. And I have ironically enough, there's a Fox 10 report, and this is proof that Fox is moving away from the Trump thing. And the headline here is Cyber Ninja's dead voters claim debunked by Arizona Attorney General. Many were very surprised to learn they were allegedly deceased. And I have the clip here, 1 minute and 14 seconds.
I have no regrets other than I wish we would have done this 4 years ago.
That was Arizona Senate President Karen Fann's response back in September when asked if she regretted hiring Florida-based cyber ninjas to conduct the controversial audit.
The ballots that were provided to us to count in the Coliseum very accurately correlate with the official canvass numbers.
3 months after Cyber Ninja's CEO Doug Logan presented the findings, the company shut down. All employees laid off. The announcement coming hours after a Maricopa County judge slapped a $50,000 daily fine against Cyber Ninjas for every day it does not produce audit materials. The attorney for Cyber Ninjas says the company is a private entity and not subject to public record laws. Now it appears that Cyber Ninjas is no more and will neither pay the fines nor produce the audit materials.
Just because it's in a private entity's possession doesn't mean per se that it's not a public record. Otherwise, it'd be a really easy way for governments to shield any information they didn't want the public to get their hands on, is just hire some outside vendor and have them keep everything.
No
Legal
kidding.
Analysts say the Arizona Senate should step in and resolve this issue.
Yeah, so the whole idea is for the Senate to step in and fix the problem and everything else. But yeah, it's just funny how I think from Trump's side of things and Trump's influence, I suppose, is, hire this third party. If we don't find anything, hey, we'll just shut down the company, and hey, they can't do anything. All the data gets destroyed. And, the idea of the Senate stepping in to find the data, I don't think they're ever going to find the data. And according to the indie.co.uk article, because this was part of the reason why people said, oh, there was voter fraud and all this stuff. apparently they only found one person that was actually deceased. And in the article, it mentions how even some of the cross-examination done by cyber ninjas was pretty poor, not distinguishing people that passed away after submitting ballots and stuff like this. They're not very good. And it's not surprising. And the other thing that's funny is this guy.
What are you doing? Carrying water for Nancy Pelosi now?
This guy, Doug Logan, who's the guy who started Cyber Ninjas, he filed for bankruptcy with Cyber Ninjas, but he's also starting a new company with the same employees. So,
yeah, technically not illegal. But
not illegal, but
not suspicious.
That's yeah, exactly. That's very Trumpian, though, isn't it? Like doing things legally, but also really stretching the boundaries of what is okay, what isn't, and forgetting the ethical and any kind of ethical boundaries and just going.
Yeah.
And which
I don't even know if there's ethical boundaries, but there certainly is. Just like, I mean, okay, yeah, you are hired by Trump or a proxy of Trump, to allegedly
expose the election, and then they find nothing.
The election, and when people check your homework, you close down your company and start a new one with the exact same people.
We have nobody. $50,000 a day. That's quite the fine.
Yeah, well, no wonder they had to go bankrupt.
So there you go. It's interesting turn of events. Well, I guess I don't know if it's a turn of events, but just the climate of Trump's 2024 run right now doesn't look too hot, but I don't know. It's hard to gauge based on the media.
Forces coming against him.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
it's
very interesting.
on like different levels. There's so many layers of sort of obstacles coming up against him.
Yeah.
There's certainly a lot of energy being put into discouraging him from running.
Yep.